A palindrome is a word that is the same forward and backwards. Forward and backwards. Let's talk about the last part of the sentence, forward and backwards. Forward. Now, if you notice, I'm not really pronouncing the W. Of course, that's the proper way to do it. Forward, forward. That's the way that it should be pronounced properly, but very commonly with native speakers of American English, we just say Ford. Just like the car brand, Ford. Same thing. In context, anybody will understand. If you prefer to say forward the proper way, then that's perfectly fine. But you may find that it is a bit more articulatorily challenging. It's harder to articulate forward, rather than forward. It's one syllable rather than two, and you don't have to deal with the second R sound, forward, where you have that R sound. We can avoid that by just saying forward. The next word, backwards, right? Backwards. Right now, I cannot move backwards because there is a wall behind me, but I can move forward and backwards. Now, forward and backwards. Let's look at the structure of these two words, forward and backwards. Backwards usually ends with an S. It is possible to use it without an S if you say, for example, move in a backward direction, if you're using it as an adjective, but this is not very common. It's more common to use it as a preposition, a direction. Forward, backwards. Forward, or forward, never has an S on the end of it. Backwards usually does, 98% of the time. Now, time for some examples of palindromes. For example, Bob, Mom, and racecar are all palindromes. Also, taco cat. That's a pretty funny one too. So what does this mean? This just means the words are the same forward and backward. Look at Bob, B-O-B, backwards, B-O-B. Same thing. Look at Mom, M-O-M, M-O-M, same. Racecar, R-A-C-E-C-A-R, R-A-C-E-C-A-R. Same thing. Taco cat, T-A-C-O-C-A-T, T-A-C-O-C-A-T. Taco cat. Pretty funny, right? I think so, at least. But maybe that's because I'm a little unique or special. This week is called Palindrome Week because all of the dates from 9/10/19 through 9/19/19 are palindromes. The same forward and backwards if you remove the slashes. 91019 91019 91219 91219 91319 91319 all the way to 91919 91919. It's pretty interesting. So many different rare events all happening on the same day. The harvest moon happens once a year. It's the full moon that marks the beginning of the fall equinox or the autumn equinox. The beginning of the fall season or the autumn season. A micromoon is when the moon is at its furthest point away from the Earth. Friday the 13th also only happens occasionally. So when it's Friday the 13th and it's palindrome week, one of the last palindrome weeks until 2049, and it's a micromoon, and it's the harvest moon, it's kind of interesting. Maybe there's something unique about this day. Maybe this day is special in some way. Maybe it's an accumulation of energy and of the seeds that we've planted that are now ready for us to harvest. Harvest means to finally take the benefits of what we've been working for. Where does it come from? It comes from harvesting crops or harvesting food, harvesting plants for use as food or as other raw materials. After fruit or vegetables are finished growing, when they're finally ready, you harvest them. You take them from the plants and you prepare them for eating or for storage.